You're watching the Rebel Scum podcast.
You are always scum. Rebel Scum.
From odds making to list rankings, we've got you covered. And don't forget to join us on Patreon for early access and exclusive content. Here are your hosts, Brock and James.
James, tell me what you know of Fortnite.
It's a game. It's popular.
It's a game.
My nephew promised me he would get it for me, and he never did.
I don't know if you heard about this, but apparently there was some like Star Wars event on Fortnite.
Yes.
Where like J.J. Abrams and Ben Schwartz.
Oh, really?
Ben Schwartz from DuckTales, one of your favorite shows. They were there, and they showed a clip from Star Wars, but apparently it was a big disaster because people weren't able to sign in. Do you hear anything about this?
I saw a tweet and somebody had the clip on the Twitter, but I did not watch that clip because I didn't fully understand what was going on because they're like, there are jetpacks, and I was like, I don't know.
Like, I think you were able to like get like TIE fighters and all that stuff. It was what it was. It was a promotion of sorts. So It's like, apparently there were server issues, but then people are saying it isn't server issues. I don't know. I don't know. I just read about it today, and I'm like, uh-oh. If you're making Fortnite people mad, that's not good. But you know what? Screw them. This is the Rebel Scum podcast. I'm Brock. This is
James, and we're joined with
Heidi.
An author. Heidi.
Look at them books.
1, 2, 3.
That's a trilogy? No. Are they a trilogy, Heidi? I can't remember what you said last time.
No.
They're just all different.
She wouldn't know. She didn't write them. Anne Drayton wrote them.
Why are you... You two are never in the same room at the same time. You're like Batman and Bruce Wayne.
You can buy these books on lulu.com. We'll get that. We're joined with Executive Producer Heid Feder. Heidi, thanks for coming on episode 145.
Thanks for having me. And by the way, you can get it on any site that sells books. So.
Any
nice.
site, including rebelscumpodcast.com. We don't have that website, but if we did, you could buy it there. This is it, guys. This is it. This is the very last time we will be doing a podcast. We're having no idea what's happening with the Rise of Skywalker. The very last time we'll do a podcast with the Skywalker saga still being a thing. It'll be over and done with the next time we do this. So it's been a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. Heidi, when are you seeing the movie?
I'm seeing it Thursday at 8:30 on the 19th. I don't know about Canada, and maybe this is a secret I shouldn't let out, but apparently here in the U.S., if there's a midnight show, some theaters will actually have early bird shows. And when I went to see Last Jedi, like only half the theater was filled because people didn't know that there was a earlier show that night.
Yeah, they do that in Canada now too. I remember asking one time, and I'm like, "Why is the midnight show at 7?" And they're like, "Do you want to be here at midnight?" I'm like, "Good point."
Yeah, great point. But we're going at 7:00 on Thursday, Brock. You and I. We are hopefully going to check out the pop-up shop in Toronto, which I believe is going to be as exquisite as ever. Wait, over under Rey's wardrobe will be on a mannequin there, but probably the Jakku one because I think that's what they had for both of us. They're like, "Oh, look, it's Rey," and we're like, "Oh, cool."
I mean, they described it as like there's like a lightsaber part and there's like a Wookiee part. I didn't read the full article, but I like going. It's fun.
Yeah, and it's only like 4 minutes of our day. It's not big. And then we can go to the silver snail after and have a gray snail and have a good time. The gray snail. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm trying to wrap my head around this idea that there won't be any more stories in this vein again. Like, it's because they're good. Like, we're continuing Star Wars in 2022. Yeah. So I'm just trying to wrap my head around what their end game is. Do you know what I mean? Like okay, is let's just say for the sake of it, like Kylo Ren dies, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, no more Skywalkers. Do they just continue on with Rey? Like, or are they going to be like every single? Because Kathleen Kennedy kind of came out and said, no, we'll continue stories with these characters. So, what's happening? What is the future of Star Wars?
Baby Yoda.
Ooh. Heidi, how far are you in The Mandalorian?
I'm up to episode 4. I work for the post office, so I've been working 13 10-hour days, 6 days a week.
It's a slow time of year for you now, yeah.
Working 13 days in a row, so I refuse to come in, but I just really haven't had a chance to watch episode 5 or 6. So.
All right, we won't go into spoilers, but
What is that? I can't even tell what that is. Whoa, I was like, is that from the news?
No, it's not. It's Jon Favreau.
It's Jon Favreau.
And Mandalorian's a lot of fun. So there is a future to Star Wars, but what's it going to be, and how are we going to feel like this is final? Because there has been a lot of argument and talk, like, well, does everybody have to die for it to be final? Like, is that what it is? Does everybody have to die for us to feel like this is the very, very end? I don't necessarily think everybody has to die or anybody has to die. You look far back, as recently as Endgame, they kind of took care of the key players in that, which is now dubbed the Infinity Saga. They took care of a few key characters in that, but let the rest kind of do their thing.
Yeah, I mean, not everyone died at the Return of the Jedi, so what makes this different, And that used to be the end, right?
I think the difference, though, is this is the end of the Skywalker Saga, because they've named it the Skywalker Saga.
Yeah, that's nice, but that's a new thing.
No, I know, but once you call it the Skywalker Saga, now you've got to end that part of the saga.
Yeah,
well,
that's fine.
Maybe Kylo won't die. Maybe he'll just get his little Knights of Ren shot off. I don't know.
The Knights of Ren saga is the next. I'd watch that probably. I don't know. I don't know what the Knights of Ren do, to be honest, so I can't comment on that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm wondering, maybe the conflict won't be solved at the end of this movie, and the next group of films will be about continuing the war between the First Order and the Rebellion.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you could make 20 more movies about that, and I'd be super content.
Which adds to the confusion. Why end it now? Why end it? Why be like, this is the last one?
Well, for one thing, people are getting old and Carrie Fisher's gone now, so it's kind of hard to...
But you could... Okay, when they announced these new movies, and Brock, you and I have spoken about this, when they announced these movies, I was always under the impression that Han, Luke, and Leia would just be old, and they would be handing this off to a new crop of kids. Yeah. And that's kind of what they did. But then, when The Last Jedi came out, they're like, no, this is the Skywalker Saga, and you're like... And also, even with The Force Awakens, the way they tee up Luke in that, you're like, well, this is actually all about Luke now. So that wasn't what they did. So they could have done that for another 20 years. Even with everyone, getting older and passing away, they could easily have just gone ahead and been like, yeah, we're just going to keep going.
I don't know. I mean, how many last movies have there been, and how many have they kept going?
Yeah.
I mean, Revenge of the Sith was supposed to be the end of it.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of the end of it.
Okay.
And I think we can't be this dramatic and say we're never gonna get a story about Luke or Han or C-3PO ever again, because we have this expanded universe in comics, cartoons, whatever. I know we're talking about films, but they're gonna still I can't wait for this movie to come out so we can finally possibly get books and comics about what happened between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens, because I hope we can finally find out. I'm very excited about this Kylo Ren comic book, which I think already came out. I'm not sure. I did not see it when I was at the comic book store. But yeah,
no, I think it comes out on the 18th.
So this Wednesday. Okay,
yeah.
Perfect. So I haven't missed it. But I don't know what you two think, but let's start filling in the gaps. I don't really care about what the next thing is. Just tell me. That's the beauty of Star Wars. That's why the EU was so huge, because it's oh, by the way, this happened after Return of the Jedi. And you're like, what?
Well, I mean, keep in mind, the Obi-Wan Kenobi miniseries comes out in the summer, so
right.
Maybe things are just gonna. Maybe the next saga is going to continue the movies, but the same old story and the same old characters are going to continue on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Yeah. No, go ahead, James.
Boyega and Oscar Isaac said they will not be Disney Plus. They said, nope, you will not find us on Disney Plus.
That they haven't.
Force
been
Awakens
asked.
is Last Jedi, so.
Well, no, boy, they both said that they don't want to do a Disney Plus.
They
show.
don't want to do it. Okay.
No, they will not be on Disney Plus.
That's fair. Oscar Isaac has to be Spider-Man 2099 in the follow-up Into the Spider-Verse, so he's going to be busy now. I don't know. I don't know if this makes me sound cynical. I don't believe anything a movie production house or media conglomerate says anymore, because it's like, if there's money to be made, they'll be like, oh yeah, we'll do it again. Do I think they want to start going away from that trilogy, those characters? Because like that was like George Lucas's creation, and it's like the more they do stuff with it, the more there's backlash. You know what I mean? I mean, people love it and they also hate it. So I would be like, yeah, let's move to something else. Because look at The Mandalorian; it's doing really, really well. It's its own thing, though it exists in the universe. So that experiment has worked, so let's make something new.
But
Well, to
does
quote
that...
Mel Brooks in Spaceballs, the sequel, The Search for More Money.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but The Mandalorian isn't part of the Skywalker saga, but it is part of the Skywalker saga because it takes place within the Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
In the timeline of it, right? So that's what I mean. Like I'm trying to figure out what the benefit is, other than getting butts in the seats, to saying this is over now. Like, what's the benefit to that? Like, the Infinity Saga, I get, because that's the way that works, right? They're like, the Infinity Saga's over, now we're on to the phase 205, and this is the Buddha Duda saga, right? Like, they can do that, but this was not dubbed the Skywalker Saga until January 23rd, 2017, when they announced the title for Last Jedi. That was the first time they ever put into print that I could find the Skywalker Saga. So they've come up with this bogus term for the saga, which is fine because they're going to have the Skywalker, then they're going to have, like, you know, the Old Republic, and then they'll have the New Republic, then they have the da-da-da saga, and all they could do that. That's fine. But what's the benefit of just being like, this one's over? It's over.
I think it's all like a marketing thing where it's like the saga comes to an end. Like, it's so dramatic when you see it in a trailer. And I don't want to be cynical but I think that's what's in play right now. I love the title Skywalker Saga, because then you're like, you can when you refer to that, you were talking about these 9, or, well, do we include Solo and Rogue One in that?
They're not, but they are, right? Because they're in the Skywalkers. Like, Solo is, especially with Kylo Ren now, is like a massive player in the Skywalker saga.
Well, plus Leia was at the end of Rogue One, and she's a Skywalker.
Yeah.
And Vader is in Rogue One, and he's a Skywalker. So, they're not included, but they are.
Rogue One was going to end the way it did.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. And perhaps you bring up a good point, Heidi, because it's like all these plans they had at a certain point have changed. Like, the director of Episode 9 has changed. They fired Lord and Miller off of Han Solo. That movie changed. And I think what we got, in my opinion, and just my opinion, what we got was good. I liked it. But you're right. It's like, in an alternate dimension, if we go into the multiverse, we could have gotten a totally different thing. I did a story on this a couple years back where, like, apparently Daisy Ridley was told what was going to happen in Colin Trevorrow's Episode 9, and she was in tears. So it's like, maybe it doesn't work for the company, but, like, it might have been good. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it's sort of, this is what I kind of hate about the Star Wars saga is, like, we get pulled away from the narrative, the fun part of it, the fantasy, and then you're like, oh, this is happening because this, and this, which I don't know. I don't know. I just want to see this movie.
Yeah. How many farewell tours have the Who gone on? I remember the first one was in '82. They're now 2019.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're still touring. So.
The Rolling Stones are somehow still alive.
I want to.
You can always believe what they say.
Exactly. Like,
I want to bring up. I've been reading a lot of the articles about the shooting of this movie, and everybody's being interviewed now, right? And they all have something to say, and everybody on social media is twisting the words to fit, like Georgia, and then it's funny. I'm equating The Last Jedi lovers to Canadians, where it's like they feel like they have to like. They just oversell it. They're like, no, it's amazing. And, like the insecurity. It's like Canadian insecurity is what I call it. It's like when TIFF happens, like, don't you just love Toronto? It's like, shut up, man. They're on a red carpet watching a movie and then they leave. But, like that's how I feel with the Last Jedi lovers right now. And that's fine. Like, it's great to love the movie, but like, just relax. J.J. Abrams did not come out and say he hated it. He was just saying, like, he thought that Rian Johnson would go in this direction. He went in this direction, which allowed him to go in this direction. That's beside the point. Chris Terry is doing an interview, and he said there was a line of dialogue in Empire Strikes Back that they kept harping back on, and you've got to think, is the line, there is another, right? And there's a lot of people who were bringing this to my attention on the social media, Brock. And they're like, oh, do you think that Rey is the other? Hard no. Because Obi-Wan Kenobi says the other Yoda spoke of was your twin sister. So no, but Kylo Ren could be the other. Because Leia is the other, but through Leia, we get Kylo Ren.
Well, here's something interesting about that. I read that Leia was not originally supposed to be the other. Originally, there was a girl named Kira who was supposed to be Luke's cousin, and her story is actually very similar to Rey's in the fact that she was an orphan who actually was more powerful in the Force than Luke turned out to be, and that Luke was going to turn to the dark side at the end of Return of the Jedi. Han Solo was supposed to be killed, so Leia was supposed to become a Jedi.
Oh. Interesting.
Imagine if we got that. Ooh, boy, thank goodness we didn't have...
After Vader died, Luke was supposed to take his helmet, put it on his head, and said, "Now I'm Darth Vader."
I read that too. That's
I hope that's the dialogue. Now I am the king.
That's actually, though, if you read the articles, that's what they all say he was going to say. Like, now I'm Vader. Like, imagine if they had Twitter in 1983.
Oh God,
that would have been something. But I think we're going to get. You see, it's funny when you mentioned the Kira though, because Kira was the original name of Rey in The Force Awakens. Her original name was Kira, and then they changed it to Rey. And her storyline, like you said, is very similar to that one. I just think if you're going to take that line of dialogue, it's got to be Kylo. It's got to be Kylo. It's got to be Ben Solo through Leia. Leia has to be the other, but the other isn't necessarily her because now it's been 40 years, but now it's her son. That it's because of her we have the other that Yoda spoke of.
Sure. I'm not against it because like the more you get about Star Wars and like the prophecy, it's like just starting to poke more holes into it. But like. We could say that, but like based on what? Like that just because it's sort of like, well, the prophecy was fulfilled because order was restored, and now we got these 3 new movies where order is not restored. So it's sort of like maybe there's another prophecy though. Like that was the thing. I would have preferred if they somehow found a new prophecy or someone went like Professor Trelawney in Harry Potter and just like, there is another, like just got like channeled by a Force
prophecy ghost. Misread.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what Yoda says.
I could get into that because we've got these books that are taken by Rey and put on the Falcon. Let's investigate that. Okay, I'm in.
Maybe they shouldn't be listening to all these prophecies because they always turn out to be wrong for some reason.
It's true.
It's from a certain point of view.
Yes, of course. I just, none of this stuff really concerns me, to be honest. Like, I don't really care. Like, these little tie-ins are fun, but that's not why I'm going to the theater. And I don't know, maybe this is just me. And Heidi, you were our fan since the holiday special. Like you make
Or the holiday special.
But that's what really cemented your fandom, was your love for the holiday special. But here's the thing. For me going in, and you guys can speak to this, is I'm not... I love seeing Han and Luke and Leia and obviously 3PO, and I want more R2, obviously. But when The Force Awakens started, I was on board with these new characters. And that's what keeps me going. And that is what I am more intrigued by, are these new characters. The old ones, like, they serve their purpose. That's fine. I'm okay with them. They can end those storylines. I want to see these new characters grow. And if that means retconning a line from Attack of the Clones or retconning a line from Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, I'm okay with that, because this is where we are now. These are the characters. There's not going to be a time when they're like, that sequel trilogy doesn't exist, just so you know. Like, this is always going to be part of the Skywalkers, the Star Wars saga. So and this is why I'm okay with Palpatine coming back, with CVP making a return, because now I just tie it all together. That's why I'm here. Give me this story.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like, let's just make it all make sense.
Well, when I watched Revenge of the Sith, I kind of sat there like, well, what's going on? Where she gives birth, she names them Luke and Leia, and then she died. And I'm like, wait a minute. At the end of Return of the Jedi, Leia told Luke she remembered her mother. So then it got retconned. Well, she was just so strong in the Force, she had memories even the day she was born. I'm like, okay. So the thing is, the Force can be... Actually, the Force and R2 seem to be the ex machina of the series. You know, if you need something explained away, you just stick the Force or you stick R2 in there.
Yeah.
But George Lucas did nothing wrong in the prequels, and everybody always loved everything about the prequels. That's what I'm learning from Twitter and from YouTube, is that the prequels were never, ever, there was no negativity towards the prequels whatsoever.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that? Oh, God. That's just where we are. Brock, you haven't seen... Heidi, have you seen the new clip that they showed? Brock hasn't seen it yet. Have you, Brock?
I might have heard about it, but go ahead.
Have you seen the clip, Heidi?
I don't know of what the...
There was a Facebook... I think it was a Facebook exclusive clip. Brock, I don't want to spoil it. We shouldn't really spoil what happens in it, because I know some people are staying away from it. It's yeah, you haven't seen it?
No.
It's all Kylo Ren. And you don't see anything, you hear things, and it just feels like they are setting up Kylo as the Skywalker that rises, and Ben Demption big time. That's the vibe I'm getting. I'm getting two vibes from the marketing, and I'm not going to go into what they're saying or what you hear or anything or see or anything like that. But the two vibes that I'm getting are Ben Demption and Rey Palpatine. Are the two things that either they are preparing us for, or they're red herrings and they're just kind of like misguiding us with those. And they're not flat out coming out and being like, oh, remember when Kylo got redeemed, Rey Palpatine? Like, it's not like that, but it's just like subtle little jabs here and there. And I'm like I feel like they're either preparing us for those two things to happen, or they're just completely tricking us.
Well, I think, like, with The Force Awakens, I realized they shot scenes just to mislead people, like the lightsaber fight between Finn and Kylo Ren. Yep. The whole reason for that fight, it wasn't really necessary. I think the whole reason for that fight was so they could put it in the trailer so people would think that Finn was the new Jedi. In fact, the mothers were complaining because the Rey action figure got released later than all the other action figures, and they got accused of sexism. The reason why is because it came with the blue lightsaber, so they didn't want people to know that it was Rey who was a Jedi. The same thing in that trailer 2 years ago where Rey grabs the red lightsaber, and she only holds it for a second. I mean, I think the only reason for that was just to put it in a trailer just to mislead people. So I think they do that.
And they're doing it with this one, with the Dark Rey double-sided... red lightsaber, which looks cool, but like it could be total BS.
Yeah.
Like that. That. Oh, jeez, I love that visual, but
oh yeah,
you know what I mean. That's the thing. Like, why was there not a Dark Rey toy Force Friday? Like right away, just like Force Dark Rey, because that, you know, they don't give us Baby Yoda. At least give us Dark Rey right away.
Because you'll buy it. The people will buy it.
Even if Dark Raid's a vision for 2 seconds in this movie, I will get that figure. Hands down. They knew what they were doing.
Well, they used to sell R5D4 action figures, and all he did was blow up. So
I had one.
Sure, they'll sell
it. Yeah, but without him, you don't have the saga.
Yeah, this whole trilogy is nothing without R5. I'm excited for this movie. Obviously, I guess you guys are a little bit excited as well. God knows why, since The Last Jedi was a bomb. Yeah, but anyway, those are the two things that I'm getting from these recent TV spots. And if they don't pan out that way, that's fine. I just feel like they're heavily hinting at them for either because they're mentally preparing us for these things to happen. They're like, just be ready for these two things. Or they're flat out like, we got you. I still believe the movie's going to end. Anyway, I don't want to say how it, but... I
mean, I've said it before. If they make a story that's compelling and it makes sense to do that, cool. Let's do it.
I'll tell you, Brock, the clip you haven't seen...
Is it the one where Palpatine is talking?
Yep.
Okay, I heard about it. And it sounds like red herrings. It's very dramatic. But, like, I'm not trying to be a troll here, but if the internet figured this out already, like, ahead of... Because Ben Demption's been around for what? Since The Last Jedi?
Yeah, but doesn't it just seem like No, it's since, I think, before The Force Awakens started with everybody. Because it's just like, where else does that guy go? Where else does that character go? And I know Patreon Christine Allison's watching going like, I hate Ben Demption!
But I hate it too.
but yeah, and I understand where you guys are coming from. But the thing is, where else, if it's called The Rise of Skywalker, where else does it go? And if you take that clip at face value with what SheVP has to say, that completely sets him up as a sympathetic character.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, in the Last Jedi trailer, Mark Hamill says the Jedi have to come to an end. And what he says is valid in the movie, in the context of the movie, but when you see that, everyone's like, oh, the Jedi have to come to an end. It's like, no, it meant something more. It meant that his faith in the Jedi Order was, like, done. But, like, then we get this amazing scene at the end of Last Jedi where he, like, Force Skypes himself across the galaxy. Like, it's like the Force never goes anywhere. I know I'm pulling at strings here, but like, I don't know, man. Like,
well, how do you tie this all up without Kylo being redeemed?
So we're just making Return of the Jedi Part 2. Like, you know what I mean?
No, see, this is the thing that I'm struggling with too. That's why Ben Demption for me is a crock, because we've seen that story before. Mm-hmm. So how do they make it different?
Like,
because we've seen the ending of this saga already. Like, we know the Palpatine has to be gotten rid of, right? Like, they have to get rid of him, otherwise this isn't an ending. But we've already seen that. So how are they going to do that? Have something happen? Like, Kylo Ren's ending has to be satisfactory regardless. Rey has to be satisfactory. How do they do that without rehashing Return of the Jedi? Because we already saw a rehash of A New Hope, and we already saw a reverse rehash of Empire Strikes Back. Are they just going to... If that means Ewoks, then I'm all in for a rehash of Return of the Jedi. But, like, how are they going to do it in a way that is satisfying and new to all of us? Heidi, you're the writer. Let us know.
Well, maybe SheVP isn't going to die. Maybe he's going to be the villain of the next line of movies.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he's a good villain.
Great villain.
Yeah. You know what it is? Nope. What does Ben need to be redeemed of, though? That's the thing. Vader needs to be redeemed because he made these mistakes that he thought were good. And then he also wants to bring his family back in the fold by having Luke join him. I feel like he says that in Empire. Or maybe it's more Return of the Jedi. But you know what I mean? Like, you're like, what is Ben doing? Because that requires him to be redeemed. I don't know.
Okay, maybe not redeeming, but turn back to the light, because he has a struggle between the dark side and the light. And if this new clip is the truth, then you find out why he's had this big pull to the dark. You find out why he's done everything he has done for the last X number of years. You find out the truth about Snoke, about, you know, and I brought this up too, and you have the Darth Vader helmet, right, in Force Awakens, and it makes a comeback in this one, and we see them shatter that thing in the trailer, right? They just shatter Vader's helmet. The only time we see him in his mask fighting Rey is in that moment. Mm-hmm. Every other time he's in that mask, he's not fighting Rey. He's unmasked fighting Rey. Why? Yeah. And if this clip, and I think this clip is early on in the movie, it just feels like an early in the movie, like a condensed version of a scene from early on. He's not in his mask. So why does he get that thing restored? And why does he only fight Rey one time in it? And in that one moment, they shatter Vader's helmet.
Because you have to destroy the past. Forget the past. Destroy it.
Kill it if you have to.
I think we can all agree that we want to know more about Kylo's past. Like, I hope there's something about it. And I think there's a good chance that we might get a story to understand why all this is happening. I understand Kylo, he's mad at everything. But why? Why? And then a million people were like, he's mad because of this. I'm like, okay, cool.
No, that's a fair point, I think.
Yeah. I don't know.
Heidi, why is he mad?
Do I want to see this movie? Yeah, why is he mad, Heidi?
Of course you want to see this movie.
I think he's mad because he got sent away by his parents to go live with his uncle, and his uncle tried to kill him.
That just happens. It's a Saturday.
You're right.
I'm sorry, that would piss me off.
Yeah.
But you know what? This new clip also shines some light on that moment in The Last Jedi, too. And you know what's going to really grind my gears when this movie comes out is everybody like, it retcon The Last Jedi. Like, no, it's taking The Last Jedi and growing on it, expanding on what we learned in The Last Jedi to set us up with something different. That's what it's doing. It's not retconning. It's expanding. It's growing. It's using what we learn in there and then kind of retcon. It's not retconning it though. It's just gonna, like I said, expand on it. And it's gonna be annoying to hear those videos and those tweets about people that say it was retconned.
Well, I'm wondering, like, shows like The Mandalorian, if we're gonna get answers in those shows. Like, I floated a theory to you guys that the client might be Snoke.
Oh, yeah.
Name's just the client.
Yeah.
So looks like he's restarting the Empire. I don't know.
Because of this new clip, I'm gonna say no to the Snoke. Yeah.
Oh, but Snoke and The Mandalorian.
I mean, they always tie into the films.
Yeah. Wow. Will Baby Yoda be in this movie? Will Baby Yoda be the Jedi that comes in and saves the day?
No, that's dumb. Stop it.
How is it dumb? Anytime you put Baby Yoda in something, it's amazing. If Baby Yoda just swings in and destroys CVP, I'm in. What was that, Heidi?
Sorry, what did you say?
He's only gonna be 80 years old, so if he's an infant at age 50, he's gonna be what, 2 at age 80. So
yeah. It's gonna be awesome. Awesome, Brock.
Don't get me wrong. I love Baby Yoda.
No, you
it's
don't.
Great. But that doesn't make any sense.
Wait, no, wait,
Stop talking.
Okay, you put Baby Yoda in anything, and merchandise will sell.
Well, yeah.
I can't wait for it. All right, Heidi, you asked me to say something. Should I say it now?
Sure.
Get more positive behind that. So this is well, so is there like, can I get like a reason for this, or is it just for fun?
That was what Matt says in Skywalker Undercover Boss.
Oh, oh my God, I haven't. Okay, we'll say it in a little bit. Let's go on to Never Tell Me the Odds. Should we do that?
Yeah, sure.
Never. Wait, I lost my graphic. If I had $1 for every time I lost my graphic.
It's only been 145 episodes.
145 episodes. Hearing about Zach's son really got to me, especially since I'm the one who killed him.
Do you want me to read the Patreons while you're finding the graphic?
Yeah, we could skip over Executive Producer Heid Feder, whose name is first. All right. Go ahead.
We should make a shirt that says Executive Producer Heid Feder, but in the font like Law and Order, where it's like Executive Producer Dick Wolf.
I can't have one of those like buttons that goes like the
don't.
Yeah.
Anyways,
go on.
Never Tell Me the Odds is brought to you by our wonderful patrons from Patreon. Check us out on patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast. We got tears. We got fears. Check it out. Any support is greatly appreciated. We try to make the best show we can about Star Wars. But here are our patrons sponsoring Never Tell Me the Odds. Barry Brophy, Dennis Allen, Christine Allison, Mary Kristen Athen, Jeff Wilson, Aaron Quinton, Al Schuler, Phil Stanforth, Austin Schur. Do you want me to read the whole thing?
Well, that's that half. Okay, Scott D, Andy Higgins, Josh Price, Mason Hope, Matt W, Tony Comstock, Rural Farm Boy, Frank Perkins, Sooner Thrawn, Neil Lowry, D Raven Spencer, FN1189, Matt Dallas, DJ Blake, Gleek Play 1, Janet Rubio, Charlotte, Kayla Davis, and he's not even a nerd anymore, but he still hangs out in the den. The Denim Nerds.
Denim Nerds.
That goes back like 3 years now when I said something and you're like, it sounded like you said Denim Nerds.
Denim Stupids. We say that like every episode.
It doesn't even get, I don't know. But today's odds actually are from Patreon. We have 7 of them selected by some Patreons that submitted them. How did you have an odd that you want to say? Because you never submitted one. I guess you just didn't want to. So do you have an odd that you think is going to happen for Rise of Skywalker?
Well, oh, jeez, I didn't think about it.
Not to put you on the spot or anything.
I guess odd that Lando reconnects with his girlfriend trapped in the navigation system.
Oh, yeah, I would love that.
It's L3.
Yeah.
That's L3 right here. Let's do an unboxing.
Oh, God.
Ah!
I like to think there's a pile of empty boxes in the corner of your room.
It's worth now.
There's L3, you guys see, and then this is L3, and she's like, "Oh, look at me! I'm in the navigation system quarter."
Watch Fleabag.
No, I love to see a fight between R2 and Lando over.
Oh my God,
that'd be
amazing. I want it to happen, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
I'm gonna go 55%.
Screw it. I'm going positive. I'm going 75% because that would be amazing. Just a second, just a mention.
What, like he could walk in and be like, "Oh, 3-year-old girl, let's do this."
Yeah.
Right? And then it's such a throwaway line that nobody will think anything of it. Heidi, what do you think?
What do you think, Heidi?
I'm just gonna say 80%, just because again a throwaway line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He doesn't have to say her name. He's like, "Come on, old girl." He doesn't sound anything like that, does he? Like, whatever.
Oh, well.
Hey, what have we here?
You truly should join us amongst the clouds. That's not the right line.
All right, this odd is from Josh Price.
Whoa.
What are the odds Finn uses a lightsaber again? Brock, let's start with you.
I'm going to go 65%.
Interesting. Heidi?
Because I feel like even though they are going to be together in the movie, I think there's a large chunk where he's like with Janna and the freedom fighters that we keep hearing about. So like there's no need for him to have a lightsaber. Yeah. Do I want it to happen? Yes. That'd be sweet.
How does he even get the lightsaber unless, of course, Rey gives him an orange one? Heidi, what about you?
I'm going to go low. I'm going to go 10%. And the only reason I'm doing that is because he was trained to fight with a baton. So
yeah,
I just don't see him using a lightsaber.
I feel like it would be like a Han Solo moment in Return of the Jedi where he just uses the cut, like the net when they're stuck on Endor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like that. It's like, oh, I'll open this peanut butter jar.
I'm gonna go low as well. I'm gonna go 42%. I could see it being a moment like that, but I think there's something about Finn that's nice and charming where he doesn't use a lightsaber also. Our next one is from Gleek Play 1. They're not sure if this hasn't been asked, but what are the odds we'll see a Mace Windu Force Ghost? I still can't shake the idea. That's why they showed him back in the D23 footage. I have the same feeling about that D23 footage. I find it very curious that they chose to show Mace Windu in the Skywalker Saga footage. It's still something that I think about. I don't know why. Force Ghost, Mace Windu. I think, there's word going around that Ahsoka Tano might be at play in this film in some aspect. And when I first heard that, I said, okay, cool. But then how do you throw Ahsoka in the movie? And then if you read the interview that JJ does, and he's like, he asked the interviewer, like, who's your favorite character? And they say Ahsoka Tano. He goes, oh, Ahsoka. Then watch Rise of Skywalker very closely. Which kind of has me thinking that we might hear some Force voices, like we did Obi-Wan Kenobi in Force Awakens. He's used that trope already. He might go back to it because I think it worked splendidly in that. So I think I'm going to go 71%. Not so much a ghost, but the voice of Mace Windu will be heard. 71% for me. Brock?
I'm going to say 55%. Only because the only way I can see it is like if it's like there's like just a group of Force ghosts. Like it's like Return of the King where like this ghost army shows up.
Which I'm down for, by the way. I'm down for that.
Or perhaps Rey goes somewhere that's strong in the Force and he's able to talk to all these past Jedi Masters. I don't know. That would be sweet. I think Samuel L. Jackson deserves to be in this trilogy again in some format. So, yeah. But, I don't know. That's a lot to put in a movie.
Heidi?
I'm gonna say 70%. I think it maybe just maybe a thing at the end, or at least a voice of some sort. What I'd like to see is him go after Anakin with his speech from Pulp Fiction.
I think we all would. All right.
Or from like Mississippi Burning, where he's like, "Yes, they deserve to be cloned, and I hope they clone them good."
All right, our next out is from Rez. Here we go. Rez, ready? What are the odds Kylo kills Hux?
Oof, very high. I'm gonna go 80% because like their back and forth was like one of my favorite parts of the first two movies. I hope it's worthwhile, but I'm not very optimistic about it playing out properly. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's so much in this movie they have to achieve that you're like, I don't know. But I think that there is going to be something that they're going to come to blows because they're not friends.
No, they're definitely not. I'm going to go, it's curious that Domhnall Gleeson is not part of the press tour at all. Like, you haven't really seen any of him. Hux has been absent from everything basically, except for that one picture in Vanity Fair in May or June or whatever it was. So something's up with him. I'm gonna go full Brock on Kylo killing him because I'm not sure, but it seems very plausible. I may even be higher than full Brock, but I'm gonna stick with full Brock for this one. Heidi?
I think he's gonna die. I don't know by whose hands.
It could be Pride, right?
Rose. Because he really pissed her off in The Last Jedi. Because he, kind of made fun of her people. But for Kylo Ren, I'm just gonna go 60%.
All right, that's fair. Next odd from Josh Price. Once again, what are the odds we get a flash forward for an ending?
I could get behind that. I mean, I've always said like this story has to end that both Rey and Kylo kind of have to sacrifice themselves. So I could see that like that occurs, the battle is over, and then 3 galactic cycles later, there's a resolution of some sort where like balance is received somehow. So I'm gonna go 80%. No, 82%. Yeah. Man, have we had this many odds before? I feel like we've done at least 4.
We do 3, but this is the last one before the movie, so it's a free for all for them.
I don't remember having to make up so many numbers.
Our next one's from Gleek Play one more time. Oh, and what are the odds the Resistance fleet and First Order fleet will have to team up to defeat the Empire's fleet?
I can see where he's coming from because we see a lot of ships. There's like a lot of spaceships. I don't like it though, so I'm gonna go 10%.
Why don't you like it?
I don't know. They're the bad. Like they're the First Order of the bad guys, and now we're gonna get a new bad guy. Come on, get out of here. Get out of here, James.
I'm out. Heidi.
I don't see it happening. I'm going to go 5%.
I'm going to go 35%. I think it could happen, but I think CVP's behind the First Order as well, which kind of makes it a little bit harder. So that's where I am. Our next odd is from Dennis Allen. What are the odds we will see a clone of any kind? And this is based on the hinting in The Mandalorian. I'm going to go high. I'm going to go 82% on some sort of clone, learning that there's some kind of cloning going on, but it won't be what we think. I'm going to go 82%, not what we think. Hashtag CVP. CVP created clone vessels, which is what Snoke
CVP was. Cloning around. There you go. That's your clever hashtag.
Snoke in a cloak.
Snoke in a cloak. I'm gonna go 75 because I'm like, put in Captain Rex or Commander Rex or whatever. That would just be fun.
Heidi?
I'm gonna check it out and go 50-50.
Yeah.
Full Brock.
Going chopping like broccoli. And our final odd from DJ Blake. What are the odds the movie ends with closure for the Skywalkers, but makes it clear there is a continuation to come?
Oh, I think very high.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go 100%. It's just like, why wouldn't they make it some way of connecting it all to that? It's like, it's kind of what their bread and butter is right now, where they make new content. They're like, this links to this. And I'm like, oh. He talked about Life Day in this episode of Mandalorian. I'm like, ooh, yeah, and you are in immediately. So
Heidi actually pre-ordered the Blu-ray that's not coming out for the Mandalorian just for the for the Life Day reference. She's like, I must. She got a big painting of it on the wall. I love that moment too, though. We got to do a live watch through of the holiday special, all 4 hours of it. I'm gonna go.
I got commercials in it though.
Oh. We'll edit out the commercials. What are the odds? 93% for me. There's a cat behind you. There's a cat.
Get down.
What's the cat's name?
Chance.
Come on, Chance. Take a chance. Chance, do you think that the movie will end with a definitive ending for the Skywalkers but continue? Meow. Bye.
And gone.
Yep.
We should have more animals on our show.
We should.
I'm gonna go 90 or more. But I'm wondering if they're gonna do like a Marvel ending.
Yeah.
Where it shows after the credits.
Yeah.
After the credits. I'm gonna say 0 to after the credits. 0.11. I'll go 0.
Yeah, because
I just don't think that's the thing.
Yeah, they don't really do anything.
No, we might hear like Vader breathing or something stupid like that again, but
we will be back in 2022.
Yeah. See you then. The movie ends with Vader's hand popping up through the wreckage of the Death Star. Like, how did he get there? Whatever. All right, those are our odds. Thank you to all the Patreon who gave us those odds, and for all of your support over on the Patreon. Means a lot to us. It's a lot of fun, and you really help make this all very, very possible.
Yeah.
Ready for the news?
You know it. That's me. You get to listen to my voice.
Hall of News.
This one's fun. I don't want to ruin anyone's day, but in Germany, Burger King has created a promotion called, I don't know if it's called Spoiler Burger, but like they are giving out free Whoppers to people, but they have to come in and hear spoilers from Star Wars. It's mostly based on theories from the internet, and it doesn't actually say Rey does this or Finn does this, but it says stuff along the lines of, we gotta read it here. For example, the characters are called Young Sword Lady instead of Rey, and the Hairy Roaring Creatures instead of Chewbacca. And it's if you go check it out on YouTube, there is a safe version that won't ruin anything for you. It's called BK Spoiler Safe Version. It's pretty clever. Like, the people in it are mad because apparently they're all like super Star Wars fans, but they also love Burger King and they want a free burger. So it's a neat thing. There's no guarantee there's actual spoilers in it because nobody really knows what's happening in this movie. But if you want an interesting promotion, check this out. Germany Burger King. Also, Porsche and Lucasfilm have partnered up. It's an interesting project. They've created a combat aircraft that would look like something from Star Wars. Now, I don't think they're actually building it, and it doesn't exist yet. It's only a 3D model in like CG, but I think the idea is to like, oh, maybe we could put a Porsche sort of vehicle in a future Star Wars movie. It won't be in anything, but it's called the Tri-Wing S91X Pegasus. And if you check out on YouTube, the Porsche X Star Wars, the Designer Alliance, it's about a 12-minute like featurette about it. It's kind of interesting. You see a lot of Lucasfilm people and you see a lot of people from Porsche. Very cool. I don't know what the end goal is, but it's like, hey, we all like Star Wars. And as we know, they're kind of ending the runs for the normal Star Wars series. It'll be flipping over to after Empire Strikes Back. Dr. Aphra came to an end this week, and I believe Vader Down is also finished. So these cool characters, where are they going to land? It was announced that there will be a new series called Bounty Hunters. StarWars.com dropped this one, and it will follow the character of Baylord Valance, which is a character that they have brought back from the original Marvel Star Wars run. He's a bounty hunter that looks like the Terminator, but he will be on a new mission, and for his mentor turned betrayer Nakano Lash, but he will find out that Boba Fett, Bosk, and other bounty hunters are also on the chase. So that will be coming out in March. I'm excited for this because we all know I love bounty hunters, and I've been very into the Baylord Valance storyline with Target Vader. So check it out. Coming out in March. New stuff. We're going to get some Bosk. That's all that really matters. So this has been your Hollow News.
Hollow News. Da, 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 da.
Da, 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 entertainment tonight.
News on top 5.
Imagine we just sang like a song about our segments for a good 10 minutes. Like, how quickly would we lose subscribers?
We would probably gain them because I have the voice of an angel.
We'd go viral. Star Wars podcasters go insane.
I just want to say I have an awesome singing voice.
Oh, perfect.
All
Then
right.
let's start it up.
Can you sing some Hollow News for us?
Just sing from the heart. That's what I do.
Okay, I'm gonna buy Heaven Nor Hell, neither Heaven Nor Hell, on Audible, but the singing
Ooh.
version of it. That's the one I want. As I said before. I actually have a terrible voice.
I'll was thinking part of the holiday special carol.
The B. Arthur song. You're in. We got this.
The Leia song.
Oh, Leia's song. Ooh, I bought.
Oh yeah.
I have a T-shirt with that image on it now, and
I'll sing it. I don't care.
damn right. All right, we'll do that as our Christmas special.
The day of peace,
Oh.
the day of harmony. That's all I know.
That was amazing.
James, edit around that and just put me silhouetted across right beside Heidi, and then fade me out. Okay, perfect.
Oh my God, that was incredible. Thank you. That's Christmas miracles happening all over around here. That's better than anything we're going to see in the Rise of Skywalker, I think. Speaking of Rise of Skywalker, today's top 5 are top 5. I lost my list. Our top 5 hopes for the Rise of Skywalker, if I'm not mistaken. Our top 5 hopes. What does that mean? I don't know. My number 5, a Gungan. Give me a Gungan, JJ. Give me a Gungan. Give me a Gungan.
Yeah. Heidi, what's your number 5?
Gungan.
Ewok.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Do we know what that forest planet is yet? I feel like we do.
Yeah, it's Shooby Dooby or Alfie.
Shooby Dooby.
It's I don't know what it is. It's not Endor. It's Affy or Affy Dino.
Yeah, right.
But it's not Endor. But Warwick Davis, modern day Warwick Davis, putting out some stuff. I think we're going to get a flashback with some Ewoks or Wicked as Snoke. Doc, you're number 4.
My number 5 is
5.
Is we find out what truly happened between Kylo and Luke. I know that's a very broad thing to say, but I feel like I don't want to put it high because I'm like, just do it. Just give us the answer. Just give it.
I honestly think we got the answer, and I think that new clip kind of shows you why we got the answer that we got, because there is no real truth to what happened.
And see, that's why I don't want it to be that, because they're like, oh great, thank you for just ruining that. Like, give us the thing and just surprise us.
Maybe in a comic. I'm down for it. Give it to me. Whatever you give me, I'm fine with. I want my number 4 is I want R2-D2 to have a big moment. Shut him down at the end of the movie.
Just crying.
This movie's gonna make us ugly cry. Down.
Why would you do this? You know I'm so sensitive.
The movie ends and they're just like, all right, R2, let's shut down forever. Boom. No music. It just cuts to black. The lights come up and we all leave.
My number 4 would be a satisfying moment for Princess Leia. Even though we don't know what's exactly going to happen to the character. Carrie Fisher is gone, but like, I believe she needs some moment that's like, wow, because this is her legacy, like, right? I guess this is the last movie she was in, so yeah, something satisfying as a nod to the audience for Carrie, so that'd be great. Heidi, number 4.
5th, lightsaber color.
Ooh, yeah. Yes, 1,000 times yes. I think James is really pushing on the orange lightsaber. That'd be great.
Yeah, orange. Just make it look. I know the movie's been done for like a month, but you could go back and change the lightsaber to orange. My number 3.
They changed Sonic's face.
Yo, Sonic looks great.
I'm sorry.
Ewoks. My number 3. Ewoks.
And Heidi, what's your number 3?
I want to see what happens with Reylo. I hope something's there. It doesn't necessarily have to have a happy ending. It could have a tragic ending, but I like them to acknowledge their feelings for one another in some way.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I'm like,
I think we're gonna get. I think there's a lot there. My number 2.
My number 3 is Chewbacca gets to own the Millennium Falcon. But he always is the navigator, so that's why we keep seeing different people in the pilot seat. Boom.
All right, I'm down with that. Maybe he ends up with a Rey. Maybe it's Trey. Or Che. My number 2, Palpatine's demise. Let's just see this Palpatine be gone once and for all. Although I did like Heidi's idea of a new saga focusing on him. But if you're going to end it, let's just end him. Let's get rid of him. But show me, like, convince me that he's gone now. Because I thought he was dead 30 plus years ago in Return of the Jedi. So show me now. Prove to me that you have killed him. Brock.
My number 2 is in the same vein. Tell us who is Rey. Who are her parents? Are her parents important? Why is she the way she chooses to be?
Yep.
And then you say she's a Palpatine, and I say no podcast.
But,
Heidi, what's your number 2? Oh, sorry, go ahead, Jay.
No, Andrew put that in my mind a few years ago, and now the new marketing, man, it's like they want you. I think it might be the red herring, but they want you. They're putting that in your mind, is what they're doing. They're putting that foot forward. Heidi.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I guess I just want to see how Palpatine ties into all this. Where he's been.
Mm-hmm.
How he survived.
Maybe he was stuck in the energy wave all this time.
Plausible.
We can bring back the Star Bridge from Rebels. Star Bridge.
My number 1, just give me an ending. Give me a proper conclusion that feels satisfactory. Happy, sad, whatever. Just when I leave, I'm like, oh, it's done.
Yeah.
It's done. Now, that's not saying things could move on from there, but I will compare once again to Endgame, where Endgame ended, I'm like, it's done.
Yeah.
These characters can go on, but even if they never did, I could just make up my own stories about them. The main plot point is taken care of. That's what I want out of this. I just want to feel satisfied with the conclusion to this movie.
Yeah.
Heidi?
What's your number 1, Heidi?
I want to see, even if it's just at the end and it's just like they used old footage, I want to see every Jedi that has been in every movie.
Oh,
yeah.
That'd be rad.
Force goes for him,
Yeah.
That'd be rad.
If they did that, would it be cheap if they just started dropping characters you've never seen before to the point that the internet explodes? Like, who's this character? And then that's what you get in a new movie or a new TV show. Is that cheap or is that smart? You know what I mean?
Well, if they're Force ghosts, and unless they're going to be guides in the next.
Oh, but you know what I mean? Like, they make it a show, like, here's a Jedi from the past. It's like, who was that? That's not Plo Koon or, Yoda. So, like, tell me about that. And then, like, here you go.
The one thing I would love to see we can't get, and I even did a poll of this, I would have loved to have seen a scene between Carrie Fisher and Hayden Christensen, but unfortunately that can't come to fruition.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I don't know if it can't, but it can. And I don't know. I mean, we might get it.
Yeah. I just watched The Irishman, and they made Danny DeVito and Robert De Niro sort of look young. So anything is possible in movies
Samuel Jackson
today.
and Captain Marvel.
Yeah, and that looked good.
And they're bringing Carrie Fisher back for this movie. She has top billing. Who knows how much she's in it? That might just be a nice thing they're doing. But, like,
yeah,
look, that scene, they could go back and be like, here's a scene with the trio that all of the oldies were complaining we didn't get. And it's a flashback, and it's 2 seconds, and it's right after the Battle of Endor or something like who knows, right? It could be a dream that Kylo has, a dream that Rey has. So I wouldn't say we can't get it. It's very possible.
Nice. My number 1 is a epic lightsaber battle. Because we haven't really gotten one, but like something like really, really cool. And if we're like throwing in possible Force ghosts, and they're battling Force Sith. I'm like, yeah. But like, I think it is due. We haven't had anything good for a while. It's been okay.
The Praetorian Guard fight's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The one in the Force Awakens is okay, and the prequels had some fun stuff. But yeah, we haven't got one, we haven't got one since Obi-Wan and Anakin, really. Like, and then, you know, in the Praetorian Guard, I love that scene, but that's not a lightsaber scene. There's it's lightsaber versus Praetorian Guards.
Yeah.
145 episodes. And we are so close to the Rise of Skywalker. We can taste it, and it tastes like Wookiee.
How dare you? How dare you say that? Not my Chewbacca.
This has been a lot of fun. I can't wait to talk about this movie when it has passed. That's going to be even more entertaining. We're going to wrap it up now. But Heidi, before we do, why don't you tell everybody about these once again and where they can pick them up?
You can pick them up anywhere they sell books online. I get more of a profit share if you go to lulu.com. However, you can get them at barnesandnobles.com, walmart.com. Any place books are sold online. If you're a Raylo fan, you might like these because they're dark erotic fiction about the villain being obsessed with the heroine. So
nice.
Lulu.com.
Look at all them books.
And also, I will be featured on another podcast.
Woo!
If I could talk about it.
Go for it. Yes.
Go for it.
Okay. It's called Erotic Awakenings.
Ooh.
That's actually Brock's second podcast.
It's a BDSM podcast.
Yowza.
And they had me on because they're fans of dark erotic fiction.
Nice.
And also, I recently wrote an article for Eden Magazine, which is an online magazine. It's about the relationship with my late fiance and what got me into writing.
Right. I don't want it to look like I wasn't paying attention to you, but I was looking up on chapters.com and your books here as well. That's our bookstore here in Canada. So
Cool.
she's everywhere, baby.
Everywhere, even in Canada. No excuses. I got mine on lulu.com.
Oh, yeah.
And you can get yours as well. It's been a lot of fun. Heidi, can't wait to catch up with you after you watch this movie, 8 o'clock on Thursday. Broadcast for you. You were always scum.
Yeah, that's true. Rebel scum.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.